Morning again, ladies and gentlemen. This is lesson 53 on page 283 of your textbook. It's actually two parts. We're going to go over the first part very quickly. It's basically just a chart at the bottom of the page on page 283. The whole idea of this chart is to help you remember how to deal with decimals, right? Because depending on what operation you are doing with decimals, you're going to line up stuff a certain way, you're going to do it a certain way. And one of the things that you're going to realize is that it's very important, no matter whether you're adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing, you want to make sure you line up your decimals, okay? But if you forget how to do a simple operation with decimals, this chart will help you, okay? So as we're doing questions in class, as you're doing questions in your homework on your own, if you don't remember how to do a simple operation with decimals, go ahead and look at this decimal place value chart, this decimals chart on page 283 at the bottom of the page. It looks just like you see on your screen right here. Okay, it shows you what to do if we're adding or subtracting, whether we're multiplying, or whether you're dividing by a whole number or you're dividing by a decimal number. Okay, obviously if you're adding or subtracting, we're going to line up the decimals and just add or subtract like we know how. If we're multiplying, we're gonna line up the decimals, and then we're gonna count how many decimal places and move that amount of decimal places, how many decimal places we had to start with. When we're dividing by a whole number, again, we are going to line up the decimal places. And then we're going to put the whole number out on the front. The whole number is outside of the house, so to speak. The same thing when we're dividing by a decimal number. Notice that they gave you a little example here. If we have a decimal, we're going to move that decimal place to make it a whole number. And whatever we move that decimal place outside of the house, we're going to move the decimal place inside of the house the same amount of places. But we'll go over all of that in detail. But this chart on the bottom of page 283 should help you as we're doing questions either in class or on in your homework. I'm going to print this for you, and I will have this ready for you to keep in your little notebook. So that when we're doing questions in class, if you need to refer back to it, you can. All right. The next part of this lesson, I'm going to do another video. The next part of this lesson, we are going to be simplifying fractions. That's the second part. All right. I'll see you in a sec.